Soul Steel. Introducing Soul Steel. Race against the clock in Soul Steel. A new multiplayer adventure from Nox Crew. Explore perilous tombs filled with puzzles, traps, and mobs. The longer you stay, the more you'll accomplish. But don't let time run out. Nah! I don't want that. We ain't doing that. Absolutely not. No. I ain't coming here to battle against Soul Steel, little microscopic goblin-like monsters that want to munch on my face all day. Just nom 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 nom. No, I'm not doing that. Intriguing though, but I'm not going. It is I, Menace Snowdecker. Welcome back to another YouTube video of Beyblade Land. I'm not gonna continue Killer Bayfall or Evil Bayfall or Killer Bayfowl, whatever the name is. I've already lost track of it at this point. I do apologize. I am going to continue that later. I'm just not working on it today. Today, I'm going to experiment. You see, I still have all this empty space inside the building. I know it's not done yet, but it beats putting everything out here. You see, I have a small dilemma here. I don't just want to build the Beyblades in this world. I've gotten a tad greedy, I guess we can say. I didn't bother cleaning out my inventory last time. Shame on me. What the heck? Yeah, keep those. I'm going to need those later. Most likely. Actually, take these with me so I can use those, because I will need those again at some point. And why am I putting these first? I need to put these down here. What am I doing? I'm not organizing my tabs. You see, I've gotten greedy. Because there's not just bays, there's launchers, and then there's stadiums. Guess my cat was done relaxing. And I've gotten incredibly greedy. There's all this space inside the main structure that I'm not utilizing, that I've been considering, how do I want to utilize this? And I've also been considering branching out the paths for the Beyblade Burst pathway once I get down to it, because I've been thinking about that. And then there's Burst, there's God, there's Turbo, there's Rise, there's GT, there's Surge. Don't even get me started on the sparking. Let's not forget Quad Strike and Quad Drive and Hyper Spear while we're at it. And Sling Shock. Love that! No, seriously, I'm actually being serious here. Sling Shock drivers are just... they're heavenly. They're so practical. Multiple uses on one little driver. So fascinating. And I have all these unopened boxes. Since I'm not going to tournaments anymore, I thought, you know what the heck? I might as well, just stop buying as much. I'm not really caring about my unboxed collection anymore. I've just been thinking about it, and I'd rather just, treat it like a Pokemon collection. Just buy one of each at this point. No, I don't care about the recolors. I don't care about the shinies. I don't care about the... look at the beautiful Beyblade that's made out of solid gold. Ooh, daddy like that. Give me... No. I don't care about those. I just want to build. I want to build the Beyblades inside my Beyblade land. It's been bringing me absolute bundles of joy with each build I make. And it's taking me back to my roots when I first started. Even actually playing games for long periods of time, and that was Minecraft. I mean, sure, it wasn't the first game I ever played. The first games I ever played was actually Pac-Man and Tetris. Well, at least the first video game I ever played. But in terms of games that I've spent probably the most time on out of any other, it's definitely Minecraft. I've always loved this world. And seeing all these empty spaces in here that I just don't really have a plan for, it's left me confused and thinking to myself. I mean, look, I could just fill these spaces up with tables, lighting, some intricate statues, but this is a Beyblade land. How does a bunch of tables and statues gonna help me? Well, you could always make a statue to Joshua Burns. Burns, my buddy, my man, you're past your prime, past your time. Fault Ahoy put you in your place. So did Free. And everybody else, and your hairstyle was absolutely horrendous, man. You look like the mountain from The Grinch. I'm sorry, but it's true. So I've just been thinking to myself, and I thought, what do I want to do here with all this space? And truth be told, I was actually going to come back and work on it again next week. Killer Bayfall, Evil Bayfall, whatever the name is. I'm sorry, but translating Japanese to English gets confusing. I mean, they literally renamed Spriggan Spryzen. And I got so used to calling it Spryzen that I look back and it gives you a headache when you think about it. It's almost like addressing two planets. I just gave myself a headache. Glad I have a drink. And now I don't. I'll probably get up here in a moment, get my water, give myself something to at least drink. But anyways, I want to experiment. I want to see what I can build in here. And I thought, what better thing to build in here than a Beyblade Stadium? I mean, it's one of the greatest things, and also one of the most important things you could ever have, because without the stadium, you can't have a place to launch the bay without damaging it unless you have a very thick driver or one that's made of metal. And if you try substituting it for things like metal and glass, it doesn't always work out the way you intend. When I first started battling, I didn't even have a stadium. I literally used a glass plate. I knew it was bad for the drivers, but that was all I had. I could have used a plastic bowl, but it wasn't rounded at the bottom. It was just circular. So then they don't really dip and dive and weave. They just spin in a circle. It's kind of boring. So I'm going to pick one stadium, and I'm going to see if I can make one in here. Let's see. I forgot to do that. I said I was going to do that from now on every time I do something that's... Whatever. Doesn't matter. Let's see. Do I want Barcelona? I got a bit frustrated when I paid for this one. I bought some other things as well at the time, and they decided they were going to go ahead and open up the entire box and stuff everything inside. Thanks, guys. Not what I expected for somebody to do, but okay. That's one solution. Do I want Extreme Battle Set? I think I'll skip the double extreme one. You know what? We're going to have diversity in here eventually, and I want to experiment with this as much as possible, so I'm going to pick the drop attack set. I'm going to go with this one. Isn't this nice? Another unboxing video. Let's see, comes with Impact Drake. There. Hover Wyvern. I'm gonna be honest, I actually thought Hover Wyvern was a stamina type. But it says here attack. Wait, hang on. Oh, I'm sorry, defense. It says defense. It's a defensive layer. How is that? Oh, that's fascinating. Okay. Alright, let's open her up. That's too much glare off the light. Give me a moment. Is that better? Is that better? That's not perfect, but that is better. And now, we start opening. I'm just kidding. To all people watching this video, this is a knife. It is a tool. A dangerous tool. In the right hands, you could create something beautiful. You could carve yourself a sculpture. But just as it's a tool, it can also be used as a dangerous weapon. So when you hold said tool, don't casually dangle it, don't flick it around and wave it like it's some basic object or item. Grab it steady. Use your whole hand. Make sure it's a firm grip and watch where you move it. Just as this item can be used to create something beautiful, it can also be easily used to take away a life or damage one in the process. When you grab your tools, regardless of how big it is or how small it is, or how sharp, always treat it like it's the most dangerous thing, because it is dangerous if used incorrectly. With that being said, safety mentioned. Let us begin. How do I start with you? Where's your... Oh, there's your gaps. Okay. I was about to say... There we go. So far, so good. Uh-huh. Might as well keep the parts. Normally, I just crumble it up and throw it to the side by now, but I'd actually rather keep these parts for as long as possible. Great! Instructions! And it's not in Japanese! I can finally read something! That it? Okay, there's another protector there at the bottom, but we can just ignore that. Oh. Okay, well that's interesting. It has stickers built onto it. What an interesting design. I wonder how the Beys feel on it. Okay, so there's our pins. Ah! Very funny, putting the pins with the bay. You couldn't have kept it separate? Oh, yeah, we got the crappy launchers. I love these things. They're so small you can barely even grab it. I don't know how many times I've tried to handicap myself using one of these, and every time I go to pull it, it goes flying out of my hands because I pull too hard, and there's just not enough to grip. I'm going to get those out of the way. I think I'm going to keep these wrapped up for now. Personally, I already have some Impact Drakes that I already have opened, so that's not a problem for me. The Hover Wyvern, I do not have one unopened, so that's the first one I actually got. So that's nice. Let's just start with the pins. There we go. I'm so used to them having 4. Seeing one with 3, it bothers me. Come on. Snap in there, you. Come on. My fingers are too big for this. That's one. Not how I saw my day going. I'm just looking at the video. I'm just imagining somebody interpreting this as me trying to pick something out of my own body. Hey, Becca. Oh, hey, Tom. So, what do you think he's picking out of there this time? Yeah. Who knows? There we go. Okay. Where can I set... I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna build myself a platform. My chair's too wide for this. Yes. Now that all that's out of the way, I'm going to need some blue, some purple, and some white. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and just build this up slightly. What do I want the platform to be? I want it to look a lot like tile. I also want it to be something that they will most likely never pick as a color for a stadium. Ever. Let's see, black, red, orange, blue, green, purple. All those colors they pick. Oh, darn, I think the least likeliest color they're gonna pick is pink. Ugh. I'm not saying I got a problem with the color, I'm saying a problem I have is with the crap. I can't talk now. Clashing in here. Okay. How am I gonna go about this? I need to... I need to pick something. I can't just use cobblestone, can I? Wait. This could work. Hang on. Maybe. No, blue. Blue. Yes. Must add the mighty blue. And we're gonna need... I'll need something I can angle, so blue concrete's not gonna work here. It's the right color. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is my problem here. And because of this, the only one I could probably use is Warp Stare and Dark Prism Ring, because they're the two closest thing to the colors on the palette, which makes it a problem. You see what I'm talking about? This is why I wanted to pick something that they most likely wouldn't use. Fine. I'll use waxed for the floor, then. Waxed oxidized. Even though it's not what I wanted. At all. I wanted the deep dark blue because it would have been closer to the palette design. I wanted the deep dark blue concrete. Life's not fair. I would use the panes, but it's not going to look as nice. So I'm just going to use the glass block instead. Let's see, where am I going to build this one? Where's the X side at? Okay, right in here. Let's build this section out. I do not know how big of a platform I'm going to need yet. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to build this out. And I'm just going to adjust it as I go. This way, if I run out of space, I don't have to worry. That bothers me how it goes all dark like that, how it just glitches with the system. Hey, Mojang, you guys might want to take a look at what causes that. I am sorry, but that hurts my eyes. And yes, I am aware Mojang's not going to pay attention to this. I'm just saying that because I'm trying to be a good human being and point out some flaws that some company could fix, that they're deeply not going to, that I absolutely love it if they did, and so would the whole community. I'm just saying. Now then. Get warp stairs here, too. I'll worry about the purple later. Okay, for starters, we gotta make a pocket. Nice little pocket. Hey, look, a pocket. That was quick. It's kind of small, though, don't you think? Yeah, I agree. Ta-da! That's a little bit better. Big enough to put a person in there. It's triangular, though, so that poses quite the dilemma. You know what? I'm just going to get creative for this one, because I don't know how else to go about doing this. And I don't know if there's a command that I could utilize to just force it into doing what it is I want it to, so we're just going to do this instead. There, a pocket, and it's triangular. And it's exactly the way I want it to be, too, so that is absolutely fine. Then it goes upward. Kinda like that. I think I know what I'm going to do for the pins now. That is close enough. It's not fully purple. That's close as I'm going to get. Crimson. That'll work. Yeah, that works for me. It bothers me that this is literally wood. If I could have just had a solid block. Oh well. Given the design work here, I'm actually going to increase this to 7. Because that just feels a lot more accurate to me, given the design work here. Doubles up a little bit at the top. Kinda like that. Then there's a steep drop in here where the actual stadium is. So I'm actually going to use these ones here. That way I can recreate that bowl shape. not sure I got a right angle here, though. Okay, so this one builds up. No, more... Yeah, steep in its design work. So, something like this, perhaps? And then we get to the bowl section again. I'm going to fix this as I go on. I'm just trying to get a basic layout of the corners here first. We got a wall section. I'm so used to pockets being open, seeing the wall before the pocket. It's throwing me off a little bit here. I'm like, wait a minute, it's got to go over the wall. I didn't know they like walls so much. Oh. Something's not right here. Yeah, a little bit more angle in there. Okay, that's an issue. I'm hoping I can fix. I think. I'll experiment with those later. Or I could just do it right now. Dang. That looks so much nicer. It looks freaking majestic. Okay. I'm going to go back later and I'm going to redesign my pillars then. And I'm going to make them so they have these beautiful joints. Just like that. Because that looks so much nicer. Add that for later. Yes. It is a must-have. Wait a minute. If that looks like that, then maybe... Aha! It looks more solid. Makes it feel more accurate. The top portion's off, but the bottom looks a lot closer, so I'm just going to go with that. Okay, so going with this... Ta-da! There we go. Get those little angles in here. Now, I could go ahead and just make this whole thing solid, but let's be honest, Hasbro and Takara Tomy make these super razor-thin stadiums, and they never fill out the bottoms. So much so that people have been putting noise cancellation fabrics underneath their stadiums, and not to mention some have been considering epoxying the bottoms. I, too, have also considered doing that. The problem is controlling the epoxy. That's the big problem. I mean, let's be honest. Have you ever thought about just dumping a whole bunch of paint on the bottom of your stadium or something? just to give it like an extra durability boost for those razor thin and pointed needle-like bits and drivers. I'm just saying. I've had that same thought cross my mind repeatedly. So I know how everybody feels. Alright, there we go. I mean, it is starting to look like a stadium. I feel like it should be just a tad, you know, just a little bit wider. Yeah, there you go. It gives off more of a circular vibe now. Okay, that we can work with. And what if I... Let's try this. I cannot see what it is I'm doing in here. Yeah, there we go. I might just put up a whole bunch of signs that say under construction. Because I can't see worth a darn. I knew I should have added lights for the ceiling. I knew I should have. I figured it was going to bite me back later, and it's doing it now. There you go. Temporary work conditions. Oh, it's 37 already? Almost 38. I don't want to end this soon. I want to keep going. Dang, man, I'm enjoying myself with this. Wait, what have I just done? No. Doop. 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 And we'll come back for that section later. Okay, so what about the other side? What's that like? Reminds me of the face of a Bionicle. Okay, so well, first things first, it has to loop around here. So let's expand this. I don't know if anybody heard that, but that sounded like laughter. What the... Hello? Darnest thing. I'm not kidding anybody. I swear I just heard something, and I know I did. It sounded like laughter. A very disgruntled, almost animatronic form of laughter. Maybe I'm just imagining things. I sure hope I'm not. That'd be a bad sign. Yeah, that seems good enough. Didn't we just round this out? Wait, hang on. Whoa, whoa. That does not line up. Hey, whoa. Hey. Okay, there we go. These angles make it very tricky for me. Yeah, there we go. Funnily enough here, this one is a little bit different. There's a space in here, so it drops down a bit, and then it gets higher. Then it goes back to being tall around the sides. Because the sides are actually solid. Most perplexing. And I'm almost out of time. No! I want to keep experimenting. Dang you. Dang you. No, 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 no. What am I doing? I'm wasting time. Precious time that I can never get back. Congratulations! We made a broken plate. Most perplexing. Due to the unique design, there's actually 3 different heights for these drop pockets. The one in the center here stands at the highest point. The ones to the sides these stand at the second height points. And the ones back here are at the lowest point. Translation, even if I build this, it's not going to be fully accurate. Because I'd have to create 3 different height levels, which means I am using a completely inaccurate scale in order to do so. But what choice do I have here? I wanted to build this indoors, and as you can see, I don't exactly have a lot of space to work with in here. Or at least, not as much as I'd like. Guess I'm using the other floors after all. What I can do here is I can... No, it's got to be a little bit wider. Yeah, this one's a wide pocket. At least compared to the others. So then if I do this, then that will make sense. If I put that like that, that's actually quite accurate. Okay. So, that's the first one. Now we gotta make ones even lower than that, and we need to fill these gaps in. Oddly enough, yeah, these pockets stick a little bit further inward than the one in the middle. So doing this is actually quite accurate. Now we extend the floor. I figured I'd have to do that later on. Whoop. How-da-doo-dee-dee-doo. Building in Minecraft. It's fun for me. A lovely place to be. One of the only worlds I want to see. Why does that seem inaccurate? Okay. That's why it was off by 1. Ha! No, we're at 47. I don't want to end the video. I don't want to. No. Gosh dang it. Fine. I guess we have no choice but to pick this up in the next one. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked the video, then give it a like. You want to see more? Hopefully the end of this build, please subscribe. And like always, this is Menace Snowdecker signing off, and I will see you next time. So bye-bye. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to smile, because remember, a smile a day goes a long way. Hope to see you all back here again soon. Hey, one more thing before you go. Could you please check out the links in the description below? Give them a follow. And join the Discord server as well. Recommend some more games. And maybe some more Beyblades for me to build. Some more games for me to play and some more Beyblades for me to build. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.